Alright, let's jump right in on unelected U.S. trader Trump's illegal Muslim ban, based on a religious test to gain entrance to our secular, always secular country. Okay, so to begin, we'll just take a look at a 220-year-old piece of legislation signed by the United States President and unanimously signed by our Congress, which establishes, which is a fact, that the United States of America is a secular country and has no basis in Christianity whatsoever, nor do we have any enmity towards any Muslim countries or any other religion for that matter. The United States of America is predicated on the foundation that there is no religion that is ours. None. We are a country of great diversity. Now let's take a look at what idiot Trump has done. This unelected U.S. trader said this about his Muslim ban, his illegal, unconstitutional Muslim ban, and how it would have been applied to stop the attack of 911. Listen to this fucking moron.
Those people that knocked down the World Trade Center, most likely under the Trump policy, wouldn't have been here to knock down the World Trade Center.
Okay, so you heard that blithering idiot and U.S. trader say that his unconstitutional, anti-American, and illegal Muslim ban would have prevented the 911 terrorist attack. It's the stupidest thing ever. But then again, what would you expect from a career fraud and perpetual liar like unelected U.S. trader Trump? Let's just take a look at the 19 911 hijackers and where they were from. We'll start by saying his list does not contain the name of the country, Saudi Arabia. 15 of the 19 hijackers from 911 were from Saudi Arabia. The other 4 weren't from any of the countries on Trump's illegal and unconstitutional Muslim ban either. Not a single one of them. Not one. So Trump's ban wouldn't have prevented anything. All it would have done is stir up more trouble and create more problems and put more Americans at even greater risk, especially our military who are overseas, deployed in foreign countries containing large amounts of Muslim populations. We will also mention that there is no distinction between Muslims, Christians, evangelicals, or any other group of religious kooks. The United States of America, a secular country, doesn't care what religion you practice because it cannot affect our laws or our government in any way. And once it does, someone is committing an illegal act. In this case, unelected U.S. trader Donald Trump, who has now violated our U.S. Constitution. Now let's just take a look at Trump's idiotic, childish, puerile, unconstitutional, and illegal ban list, which contains 7 countries. The 15 of 19 hijackers were all from Saudi Arabia, including the mastermind behind it, our number one enemy, Osama bin Laden, whom our president, Barack Obama, iced with the aid of our intelligence community that Donald Trump disrespected, criticized, and said he wouldn't rely on.
Do you trust intelligence?
Not so much from the people that have been doing it for our country.
He'd rather rely on his own instincts, the same instincts that said his illegal and unconstitutional ban would have prevented the attack in the first place. 15 of the 19 hijackers from 911 were from Saudi Arabia. The majority of the 911 hijackers were from Saudi Arabia. The others were from the United Arab Emirates, Lebanon, and Egypt, none of which appear on Trump's illegal and unconstitutional Muslim ban list. Why isn't Saudi Arabia on the list? Well, there are a couple reasons. First, since Trump is blacklisted with U.S. banks and owes a fortune around the world and can't borrow a penny here, it's very probable that he also owes, along with China and Russia, an enormous amount of money to Saudi Arabia. It won't show us its taxes, so we have no way of knowing for sure. But since Trump is just a borrower and debtor and serial bankruptcy filer, the chances are extraordinarily good that he owes Saudi Arabia money. The next reason is his Secretary of State appointment, Rex Tillerson, who is the CEO, that's Chief Executive Officer of Exxon. Gee, I wonder if there's any oil in Saudi Arabia that Exxon might want or would want to do business with anyone in Saudi Arabia who's connected with the oil industry. Might that be? Well, it's certainly an issue and a conflict of interests. Donald Trump's entire business past and debts are a conflict of interest, and he should be peeled like an onion to get at those. But what Trump has done with his illegal and unconstitutional ban of one group of people based on a religious test is vile. But it also endangers us. It is going to grow terrorist recruitment like you've never seen before. It will grow it the same way Trump's illegal and unconstitutional ban created mass funding for the ACLU to fight the illegal and unconstitutional ban. Trump is putting our troops overseas in danger and Americans abroad. Not to mention, we rely on Muslims and Muslim-speaking countries for our intelligence. Aside from that, we need them as translators. There is no possible way in hell that we will ever be successful militarily against a jihadist, extremist Muslim group unless we can understand their communications when we intercept them and analyze them. Trump has now hindered and damaged that irrevocably, perhaps. He has left a stink on this country, a terrible stink that might take decades to get rid of. We now have to convince the entire world, and especially the Muslim world, that we don't want this unelected U.S. traitor, that we don't support this unelected U.S. traitor, or any of his picks for his cabinet. Trump needs to be prosecuted. There are so many things he can be prosecuted for at this point. He's a serial sexual offender. He admitted it. He made a self-admission.
You can do anything.
Whatever you want.
Grab him by the pussy. You can do anything.
He has a long history of lying and fraud. He lies nearly all the time. It's hard to believe that Trump could ever state anything that's truthful. He's such an obvious liar, a hack, and a fraud. But now he is endangering this country. In addition to bin Laden and the hijackers having been from Saudi Arabia, Trump likes to talk about the San Bernardino attack, which was a grisly terrorist attack committed by an American citizen who was born in the same city as Trump. He traveled to guess where? That's right, Saudi Arabia, to meet his future wife, his fellow terrorist, who was also from where? Right, Saudi Arabia, who are not on Trump's list for his illegal, unconstitutional Muslim ban. So tell us again, Trump, how your creepy, vile, anti-American, unconstitutional, illegal Muslim ban would have protected New York and America from 911. Tell us again, dipshit, while we put up the list of terrorists and where they're from, and your idiotic, puerile, bullshit remark about how you're going to do things that are simply impossible based on the fact that you're so goddamn fucking ignorant of everything. We hope you don't stay in what is now the white trash house any longer. You weren't elected. We don't want you. Your poll numbers are plummeting like an anvil out a 100-story building's window. Resign now. That is just good advice for you, because once all is said and done and all of the lawsuits settle, you're going to wind up on the same end that you did when you filed your 4 serial bankruptcies. You're going to wind up the same way you did when you ended up owing China $765 million, which you still owe, not to mention the gigantic debts you've defaulted on in the last few months. You're not going to be able to pay those with the American citizens' money, the way you used your fake charity to pay your legal expenses. You're going down, fast and hard, like you've always deserved. Trump, you're fired.